Should the Atlanta Falcons make a shocking move and fire their head coach after 1 year? Now, this is pertaining to Raheem Morris, and this is all spurring or coming from the most recent defeat to the Washington Commanders, where Raheem Morris, a lot of people said Raheem Morris made some questionable clock management calls, which he did. It's not a lot of people. He definitely made some questionable calls where he didn't call a timeout at the end of half, and then he doubled down and didn't call a timeout at the end of regulation, which some people said would allow Michael Penix to get more into field goal range so that they can kick a better field goal and win the game. Now, I think there's a lot to unpack here, and in this video, I'm going to tell you just simply, do I think that Atlanta Falcons, should they fire Raheem Morris regardless? And to that, just to be simple and to get right into it, I don't think so. I think Raheem Morris, and I will be the first to admit, Raheem Morris made some dumb calls in regards to clock management, and he should have called the timeout. When listening to his explanation of why he didn't, it kind of made sense, but I think that simply is overthinking the game. He said the reason he didn't call a timeout is because he wanted Michael Penix to have the same defensive look so that it would be easier to process and find the open receivers. I understand that, but when it comes down to game time, you can't overthink it. You got to have the clock. You got to have opportunities to move the ball down the field, and you wasting away 15 and 20 seconds was not great. Now, I think the culmination of the season on Raheem Morris is not on Raheem Morris. I think Raheem Morris did some good things, and I don't think we should fire him after one game where he made a couple terrible calls in regards to clock management. I also want to highlight, since Raheem Morris has started helping out on the defense, this has been a top 15 defense in the NFL. I don't want to say we've led, but we've had triple the amount of sacks in a short period of time, and we've seen the defense do a good job of not only stopping opposing teams, but actually winning the games for the Atlanta Falcons. And I think that's contributed to Raheem Morris and his skill set and his ability as a coach. I also think that this team is actually pretty decent. Here's what it comes down, in my opinion. I think Kirk Cousins had a very terrible spell. I hate to blame it on Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins had a terrible 5 or 6 games. And if we had average play for Kirk Cousins over those 5 games, I think we would have one more game, we would have won, and we would be in the playoffs. And I think that's hard for you to put that all on Raheem Morris. Yes, we needed to win the game against Washington. Yes, he made 2 terrible plays in regards to coaching, but I don't think that's enough to fire him. I also want to say against Washington, Jaden Daniels won the game. I think people forget about that. We were going into overtime. Jaden Daniels is a really good player, and I think if there's a lot of other quarterbacks in that situation who wouldn't have been able to do what Jaden Daniels did. So we need to give Jaden Daniels some credit too. But going back to the topic, do I think Raheem Morris should be fired? No, I do not. I think this team is decent enough, and I'm not defending him. He made 2 terrible calls against Washington, but this could be a 9-7 Falcons team with some little bit better quarterback play, I think. This could be easily a 10-6, 11-5 team. So that's just me. There's going to be a lot of people that oppose what I think, and majority of Falcons fans don't believe Raheem Morris should be here next year. But I think, it's tough losing, especially that most recent way. And I think Raheem Morris is actually a pretty decent coach, a pretty good coach, honestly. And I think given another season, the Atlanta Falcons will be where they need to be, and that is in playoff contention and championship contention. Now, if you agree or disagree, leave a comment down below. Let me know how you're feeling. I know you all are hurt. I just sat up that game after the game, 2 hours. I couldn't focus, couldn't sleep, couldn't do anything. It hurts, especially knowing that your season is pretty much over, depending on, obviously what New Orleans does. But I think Raheem Morris could take some blame, and he's taken a lot of the blame, but I definitely don't think he's the issue going forward, and I think we need to retain him because I think he actually is a very good locker room coach, and he does know strategy. It just didn't work out for him more recently. But like I said, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you agree, and if you want to see more videos like this, check this out right here. And like always, peace.